What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Eddy Live Show, episode number 137. I'm here with two of Tianmu's OGs. You're going to hear all about them. Fantastic customers, fantastic guys. Bruce A. How you doing, brother? Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
And the
Thanks
man, Dan the Man Long. How you doing, brother?
Thanks
Thank you, guys. Well, cheers, man. Thank you guys for coming.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Thanks for having
Appreciate
us.
it. Yeah, it's my
Thanks
pleasure.
for having us. Cheers.
How you guys ended up in Taiwan. Whoever wants to go first.
You've been here longer.
Yeah.
Well, first time around, I was here longer.
Okay.
My parents moved here in 1970.
Okay.
I was, I'm going to give my age away. I was just not yet a year old.
Okay. So you were
I was not born here.
Okay.
I was born in Malaysia.
Okay.
And then they moved here in 1970.
Okay.
They lived in Taiwan until 1988, I think, which is when I graduated from high school.
Okay.
And then they went to Hong Kong. And they were in Hong Kong for about 20 years. And then they retired to Scotland, which is where they are originally from, where I am technically originally from also.
Okay. And Dan, what about yourself?
I came to Taiwan in 1977.
Okay.
I was 7 years old.
Okay.
8 years old.
From the States?
I was born in
From where?
Japan. My dad was a military doctor.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He worked Army doc.
Okay.
And so he was the head of pediatrics at a Army hospital in Okinawa,
Okay.
which is where I was born. And then when I was 8 months old, he moved my whole family to Vietnam during the Vietnam War.
Wow.
We lived in Da Nang, and he was the head of a children's hospital in Da Nang from 1970 to 1975.
Okay.
We got flown out by Air America in 1975, end of March.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, my gosh. That's quite a...
So back to the
That's-
States,
yeah,
2
okay.
years, and then he joined a relief organization. Vietnam was a relief organization. Taiwan was a mission organization
Okay.
that ran a hospital down in Taitung,
Okay.
Taitung Jidu Jiao Yin,
Okay.
Taitung
Okay.
Christian Hospital.
Okay.
It was actually founded by another doctor who's a friend of ours,
Okay.
but in like 63 maybe.
Okay.
And then my dad was the first full-time pediatrician to work there. There were 3 foreign doctors working when we rolled in.
So legit OGs, man. That's wow.
It's way back in the day.
Way back in the day, yeah. So you guys have bounced around from a lot of different countries, yeah. Where do you feel mostly like more at home? Like, you feel your home base?
Well, it's a classic third culture kid question.
That's exactly
so,
it.
I mean, that I am a very traditional third culture kid, and
Okay.
it depends where I am.
Okay.
It depends where my family is.
Sure, of course.
But Taiwan is definitely home for me.
Okay.
Like, I love it here.
Yeah.
You know, I think whenever retirement comes along, I'll spend at least a part of my year here.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you came to Taiwan the first time, what did you come for?
I was teaching kindergarten.
Okay.
Yeah, teaching kindergarten, yeah.
And did you have the job before you arrived?
I did. I
Okay.
did because I actually was going for RCMP in Canada, and I did all the tests, and everything was really good. And then I failed the very, very last interview because I was like 21 or 22, zero life experience. And they're like, we need you to have some kind of life experience. Go get that and reapply in 2 years. So I figured, well, I finished my soccer coaching job there. And I figured, well, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Should I go to Mexico? And I mean, I speak Spanish and it's good. But I figured I've always wanted to come to Asia. And I figured, you know what, I'm just going to do something
Go for
different.
it.
I had a friend that went to Taichung years ago, said it was great. And I said, that's enough. So I started Googling it, looking for it, and found a couple schools in Taipei, found some in China, found some all over. But I was kind of like, I wasn't sure about China at the time. And I just thought, I'll come here, tropical island, no snow, if I can learn Mandarin. Sounds good. So I came here, plan on coming for 1 year.
So when was that, like 2000, something like
That
that?
was December 2002. Bruce, prior to Taiwan, you were in China. I think it was Beijing, or was it?
Beijing, Shanghai, and Chengdu.
Okay,
Lived all
okay.
over China.
So maybe talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's awesome. We were there
Tell me about it, yeah.
we were there for 17 years total.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
We moved there in 2000. I won't drag my family into the story. I'd met my wife, a year earlier, or less than a year earlier,
Uh-huh.
and then managed to convince her to move to China.
Okay.
And so we went to Shanghai in May of 2001, something like that, March of 2001. I'm trying to remember.
All right.
And we lived in Shanghai for a year. And then we were asked to go to I worked for Intel, the computer company,
Gotcha.
the microprocessor company,
Yep,
the
yep,
semiconductor company at the time. Worked there for 20 years total.
Oh, wow.
My entire time in China, apart from the last 2 years, I worked at Intel. I had been in the U.S. for 3 years with Intel. And then went to China and was there I was at Intel a total of 20 years. So we lived in Shanghai for a year, and then we went to the Philippines for a year.
Okay.
And then we went back to Shanghai.
Okay.
And then we went to Chengdu, and then we went to Beijing, and then we went to Chengdu, and then we went to Beijing.
Wow.
Oh, tell them about your place.
You got a
weekend
place?
We
You have a weekend place.
He had a
Yeah.
weekend
Okay,
place.
okay.
How did you know? Did I tell you
You
about
told me
this?
about that.
All right,
We-
that's
amazing.
We renovated an old farmhouse out by the Great Wall, where when you looked out the window, all you saw was the Great Wall along.
Really?
It was awesome. To be honest, we just sold it 6
Oh.
months ago.
Really? Okay.
I think about 6 months ago.
Okay.
Because, we weren't going back anytime soon.
Yeah.
It was a 45-minute drive from our house in Beijing. We lived on the outskirts of Beijing, as did many foreigners out where the international schools are.
Okay.
And it was a 45-minute drive out to a place called Huairou.
Okay.
And a well-known part of the Great Wall. There's the Badaling part of the Great Wall, but then there's the better part, which is where we were closer to.
Gotcha.
And we could just go out there and we could walk from our door to the Great Wall. No houses in between us and the Great Wall, maybe one.
Really?
In 45 minutes, we could be on the Great Wall.
That's sweet.
So my question about your kids, now that they're in the States, was there any like culture shock, or do you guys go back enough?
It's a good question because
Yeah.
they
Do they feel more at home here or there?
they all consider Taiwan home,
Okay.
but they do. They're happy in
They're
the
happy there.
States. Yeah,
Okay.
they're not pining away their time.
Okay.
My wife and I have had these discussions where
Yeah.
I'm like, my dream in the future is
Yeah.
this is where you know I'm Asian.
Okay.
I want my kids to come back and living with me.
Yes.
Yeah, right?
All right. Okay. I got to take one.
Yeah, no, seriously.
I love it. I love
And
it.
my
man.
wife's like, no, that's not going to happen. And my kids are like, no, that's not going to happen.
And you're like, yeah, it's
I'm like,
okay.
hey, come on.
Maybe next door.
Asian
I could do next
expectation.
door.
Yeah.
But,
What caused you? Like, what made you decide you're gonna go vegetarian? Like, are your family vegetarian? Like your parents? and stuff?
no history whatsoever
No
of
history.
vegetarianism, no
Okay.
religious impetus, no anything else. But a good friend of mine told me that I should read a book. And the book is called The China Study. And it's fascinating. It's written by a nutritionist from Cornell University.
China study.
The China Study. Because what happened was when Zhou Enlai was diagnosed with cancer,
Okay.
the Chinese government sent 3,500 research data gatherers all over China. This is about 1975-76.
Okay.
And they tracked mortality, diet, and exercise.
Okay.
And exercise was people were digging fields because it was middle of the Cultural Revolution.
yeah, labor.
Diet was all vegetarian because there was no meat available to be consumed.
Okay.
And they all died at an old age, or relatively speaking, old age, of natural causes. No diabetes, high blood pressure, cancers of any kind.
Okay. Okay.
So he traces this whole study and compares and contrasts the percentage of your dietary intake that should be from whole food, whole plant-based kind of diet versus animal protein.
Okay. Okay.
Anyway, so read the book.
Okay.
I'll try anything.
Yeah, sure. I understand how that works. Yeah.
I'll try anything. So we became vegetarian, and that was it.
Let's go through some of the pictures here.
Let's
Yeah,
see
you guys
some
can tell us
pictures.
all about them.
Old
Let's do
pictures.
number one. Start from number one. Boom.
So
Who's
that
that?
was Vietnam. I went back to Vietnam in 1992
Okay.
when it was just opening.
Okay.
I went on a tour with my mom and dad.
Okay.
We saw the home I grew up in when I was a little kid,
Okay.
and then of course there's war relics everywhere.
Yeah, there must be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Very beautiful.
Oh, that's some of the best people.
That's
Do
a
you
good
know?
crew
Do you know
right there.
Steve and Laura?
Yes, sure,
Yeah,
sure,
and
sure,
Jerry,
of
of course. My
I haven't
wife
seen
Missy.
them in a while. They're still around.
They're around. Yeah, they're around. Everybody's laying low right now, right?
Yeah,
Because they're
for
trying to get back to the States for the summer, and
Sure.
so that was Missy's farewell dinner. We were at Wulu Mulu.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, it was great.
That's a good picture.
It's you,
Robert.
Bruce.
That's such an awesome picture.
I know. That's why I had to get it.
When I worked, was that on Facebook? Where did you see that?
Facebook. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Did my wife put that on Facebook? I think she must have.
I don't know. I scoured all four of them.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
So
'cause I figured it's a good story there.
it's an awesome story. When I worked at Amazon, I ran the books business for China and the Kindle business for China.
Okay. Wow.
And we had this this thing we called we would donate Kindles to those rural schools.
Nice.
So I frankly don't remember exactly where, but that school was kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
And Henry and I went out and they did a full-on ceremony. We donated all the Kindles, and every kid got an hour a week with a Kindle. It was a huge school.
Okay.
And it was to help them, with their reading and to help them learn new things. And they had this whole system where there was a responsible teacher. They charged them all overnight. It was just so cool.
Wow, very organized. Very cool. This is it, guys. This is the last one. Hold on to your horses here, yeah? Enjoy.
Oh, just so you know, before you eat this, I was talking to Owen Lee.
Yeah.
He and Miles came by and did this in the summer,
did.
was it? Or no, fall.
Yeah, it was. I would
They
say
had
maybe
to take the next day of school off.
Yeah, I felt
Because of the last one?
I actually felt
Cheers.
really. It was crazy. Cheers, guys. I
Remember,
actually feel really
horchata is
bad
your
because
friend.
that was one
Horchata
of
is
the
your
only
friend.
times where, I mean, they were struggling, and they're not kids, but they're still to me. Like,
That's a
kid.
kicker.
So it's like, oh man, I felt like, oh my god.
Just got to eat it fast.
Oh, that's
before
good.
your brain
It's good,
catches
but
up.
it's a. Here it comes.
It comes
Here it
later.
comes.
It comes later, yeah.
That's.
Don't touch your eyes.
No problem.
Woo, that's a good one.
So we made it all the way through the end. Thank you guys for coming out.
Thanks for
Amazing
this.
story. Is there anything you guys want to add?
I just need some more milk.
Anybody that wants to be in a position like yours one day.
Like this position?
Well, maybe
Don't
not
eat
this-
the last
Maybe
wing.
not this position.
Hold on, I'm crying a little bit.
I'll take that.
It's not because I'm moved to tears.
Okay, it's all good.
That is no joke.
Actually, the water helps a ton.
Does it? You want
Yeah,
you
the
need some
water's
more?
good.
Guys, thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you, Eddie.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Man,
thanks
thank
for
you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for also creating what you've done here in Tianmu.
Thanks, man.
Like
Appreciate
this
it.
whole community thing is
Thank
so
you.
important.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching the show. Thank you guys for coming. See you guys next week. Bye bye.
Thanks, Eddie. Bye.